Hello, Adam.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Lots going on in the world, but glad to be here.
Oh, is there anything going on? Is there anything of
Mm,
note?
I wouldn't. You know what? If you've missed it, I wouldn't bother looking.
Exactly. Please don't. Yeah, this is. I'm excited for this episode. I'm excited for this tradition. Our annual wrap up. Actually, but before we get there, because honestly, if we hadn't already planned this episode, we might be talking about this RFD that I wrote a week and a half ago, the RFD 576 on using LLMs at Oxide. I have been shocked at am I stupid to say this?
No,
No,
people
no.
feel
Like
really people feel really excited about it. I think is that what you're saying?
I am amazed at how hot this issue is, just in general. I mean, because I felt like I was saying something that was very neutral in the many ways, like very reasonable, middle of the road, not too extreme. But this thing got a huge amount of pull. I mean, I made the RFD public because I thought one or two people on Blue Sky might find a spelling error, which actually they did. So thank you, Blue Sky. The spelling error stuff like that. And then I was like, we're going to a dinner party this last week, and it's the top story on Hacker News. It's the number one story on Hacker News.
That had escaped my attention. I would say, and I mean this with all respect, I read it, and I think my feedback was yeah, okay.
Milk toast. No,
I mean, I don't. I mean, no disrespect. 100%. It's just
no. This was my view. My view is very just punching a clock, doing just making sense. It's fine. Nothing not a number one story on Hacker News. So that was a shock. And then I was going to be like, okay, we're about to go to a dinner party. It's the number one story on Hacker News, and the comments are just I'm like, I have to turn my phone off. I'm like, God's plan. Whatever happens at this point, and fortunately, it was all fine, basically. I mean, more or less, but the haters eventually. Once you get to a certain amount of traffic, the haters are always going to show up.
For sure. But I feel I mean, your point of you should spend as much time writing a thing as you expect people to spend reading the thing. I can understand it as being I don't know, perhaps not obvious, but
I feel exactly the same way. I guess I was splitting the atom on that one. Didn't feel like it really. But a lot of people that in particular, that really resonated with a bunch of folks who I think were kind of feeling the same thing and struggling to kind of put words to it. So all of that kind of put me on I wanted to flesh it out a little bit, and I got some great feedback, and I updated a bit. And then I wanted to go back and listen to something I'd started listening to, which is Evan Ratliff's Shell Game podcast. Have you listened to any of this?
I've started it. Yeah, I started this weekend.
It is very good. It is outstanding. I guess so. If you are, especially, kind of in the holiday season here, there are a lot of menial tasks that need to be done where, maybe a podcast and some spiked eggnog might help you get you through it. You want to be putting on Shell Game.
There you go. No, that's halfway there. Then pull up the eggnog, right?
And pull up the eggnog. It is. So are you on season 1 or season 2?
I skipped season 1 and went straight to season 2.
Which is, I think, that's a good idea. Although I think season 1 is excellent. The one thing you get, and I think you should listen to season 1 even after having listened to season 2. And in season 1, he creates a persona of himself that he unleashes into the world, and it is really fascinating. But season 2 is absolutely unhinged because he creates a startup with these personas that he creates, and I mean, I don't know. Are you finding it? I'm just finding it mesmerizing. I think it's amazing.
I think it's great. I think I actually played Ultimate Frisbee with Evan for many years in San Francisco, and I think, as I recall correctly, in Wired, probably 15 years ago, he tried to delete himself from the internet, and
he did. That's right. Yeah. He did, and he was found after a month. Yeah. He challenged the internet to find him, and the internet found him.
Yeah.
Which, that you definitely recall correctly. So we've got to. I mean, I know this is not supposed to be a wrap up, not a preview of next year, but we got to get him as a guest.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, and Morris Chang too, right?
Morris Chang. Yeah, I mean, I think I played Ultimate with Morris Chang, so maybe I'll go after, actually, the fact that you played Ultimate with Evan, does that mean that I should be asking him or you should be asking him? I mean, you can hear this in the spirit which it's attended, right? I mean, this isn't just...
Very astute question, and I can ask him in this case only.
Okay, that's good to know. You're on the same team. That's good. Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, highly recommended it. Highly recommended podcast. Really, really good listening. And I'm like, next episode of season 2 drops on Wednesday. I can't wait. And perhaps in fitting with that, well, actually, before we talk about like wrapping up 25, I feel like there's some headlines of 25 from an Oxide and Friends perspective.
Okay.
I mean, actually, one kind of surprising thing. Have you already done this about the number of episodes? And maybe just automatically know this. Maybe your brain is just hardwired in the transistor.
You mean like how many we've done? This
how many we did in 2025
ones?
versus 2024 versus 2023?
I don't know that off the top of my head. My guess is.
What's your intuition?
My guess is more than last year, and probably more than the year before, but maybe less than the year before that.
That is exactly right. And but the numbers this year, last year, and the year before are all basically the same. I thought we did fewer episodes this year. I really did. I thought we, but I had to go. I was down in Mexico with my mom, and I just felt like we did less episodes, but we didn't. We actually are going to do one more episode this year than last year.
Yeah, I did know that we were like ahead of pace. I think we had some like hiatus where it wasn't working out for you and me, and I had seen that we were ahead of pace. So why we can skip it. We can give ourselves some time off.
Yeah, no, it's good. So that was a little bit of a surprise to me, but I thought that was interesting. But I feel that the big news, if the big reveal last year was all of the sweat on the brow with the images. I mean, I thought it was a big reveal last year. I think that people, they knew they appreciated it, but they didn't know why. And now we've got, and so how do you feel? Because now, I mean, that obviously changed everything. We kind of broke the seal on that. And now, we pulled back the curtain. And
I mean, a lot of pressure, obviously. I was looking back at the year of images, and they were like, good. I don't know. Like, I feel like
come on. Are we? No, I understand what you're doing, and it's fine. You want us to walk out? Walk us up to it. So we call out some ones that are really special.
No. I will say there were a couple that I really liked. A couple I really liked, and I bet you and I we should write it on a card and flip it over.
But, I don't think we need to do that. I think we know what it is.
Okay, but
I'd say absolute confidence.
Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3. No egress.
AI discourse.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh wow.
What was the AI discourse one?
This is with Klabnik, right? I think it's AI discourse.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the image was.
Oh come on. Yeah, discourse.
Oh yeah, I did love that one.
I knew it. So you were thinking of was second place, which is fine. I didn't know we were doing second place first. I thought we were doing in order from first to second, not second to first.
This was an image. I mean, I don't know the reason. I think I didn't pick that one because the thing I loved most about it, like only I love about it. So the images of you sharing.
That's not true. I love about it too. I love it about it too.
It's you sharing a milkshake with a robot. Which I really enjoyed. But then the thing that had me tittering, and I think basically nobody else, is if you watch the YouTube episode, it pans over the span of like literally 20 minutes. It pans over to me, like checking my phone next to you, like I'm third wheeling it with you on a date with a robot. And then it pans back.
And you had told me that there was something very special. Actually, there are 2 very special things in that episode. So, and we'll talk about the second as a segue to something else I want to talk about. But there are 2 very special things in that episode. One of it is this kind of panning thing. You had, but not been specific. You're just like, I really want you to listen to this episode. I think you're going to like it. And I was grocery shopping, listening to the podcast as one does, and it had its desired effect. Where it's just kind of like I looked down on my phone, I'm like, what? When did that pop up? Like it's now Adam, and Adam wasn't here, and then I wish you could have been. I wish I should have been wearing the helmet cam when I was in the grocery store. The selfie cam, you would have really it hit the mark. You could not have asked for anything more. It was confusion, and then it was delight, and then it was Oh, what whimsy! What a whimsical co-host I have. And
there you go.
how delightful! It was all these feelings. It was really great.
I love that it's for all of those folks who are like staring at the unmoving YouTube video, right? The people who are like, no, I'm going to listen to Oxide and Friends and stare at the image for an hour and a half.
It's kind of like up in a window or whatever. No, this is what makes it even better because it's just like off to the side, and then you're like, wait a minute, has it changed? It's like it has. It has. I'm glad you asked the question. So I thought that was great.
The one I picked,
yes.
the episode that we had done that you titled, I believe you came up with the title "Hell is Other Networks," or maybe that was a collaboration.
The networks, but maybe. But
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, fine.
But
I'll take it.
But then having the using the playing on no exit, making it no egress, just felt like I love that one.
It was genius, and it should be said that was a ChatGPT. That was an LLM suggestion.
That's right, ChatGPT joke, but really good.
It was like the first and maybe only ChatGPT joke that I actually like laughed at.
Yes,
that was funny.
Yeah,
no egress, that's funny. That's like no egress is just straight up funny, which tells me that it's just like cribbing the joke from someone else. Has someone else already done no egress?
Surely.
I mean, have we checked the mail bag recently? We probably have a letter from an angry podcaster who's like, "You stole not just my gag, but my image." Like, look, the LLM did it. We did.
Yeah. Well, I made the image. The LLM just gave me the idea.
Well, it is a great image. It is. I mean, I thought that was genius. I mean, that was really. I mean, I thought that was. It also like it's a level of seriousness that you often don't find in. I mean, it's like really getting into existential dread.
Absolutely. I mean, the deep cuts. Yes.
The deep cuts. So no, I thought that was. Are there other images that we want to call? And how has it been to have now to kind of democratize this and have other people aware of this? Has it helped you? Has it kind of like? I need people to kind of get out of the workshop while I'm working. This is just like,
No. I think it's like, I mean, I was looking back at the images from this year. A bunch of them, I was kind of counting like how many were just AI. Because I don't know that I love that affect. And actually not that many were just AI.
That many. No. We don't use it. Yeah.
But almost all of them I have some AI assistance, which is sort of telling.
It is
right?
telling.
Like,
yeah. Like aspect ratio. The aspect ratio is wrong is the thing I get from you a lot. The aspect ratio is wrong. Can you fix this? Never mind, I've got it. I feel like I've gotten that exact dialogue in several times over.
Yeah, no, that's right. But like, just having it again, not the subject of the image, but the surround. Just like great for the lazy man's Photoshopper.
And then we did hit. I would say we hit The Simpsons a little harder this year.
100%. This was like
really tacked into it, and it's just like let's just mask off. We're just gonna really let's see if we can get that cease and desist.
Exactly. No, totally. It's like Fox, like Disney, please, like the cease and desist. We'll just post the address right on the images. Yes,
please. We're kind of begging for it, but so no, I thought a bunch of good ones. I mean, I thought a bunch of like good. I mean, you can rely on us that like if you're going to get a Simpsons reference from us, I mean, there's certain things you know about it. It's going to be certainly in the first 12 seasons, probably in the first 8. It's going to be something that you should be aware of. That a Simpsons scholar, and we've got to like talk about the grown-up ZFS data corruption bug image because I feel like that's a deep cut. That is a Simpsons deep cut.
That is a Simpsons deep cut. Yes, this is Krusty the Clown holding up a contract. And this was like a reference. I mean, even within the episode, it's a deep cut. It is. I mean, because it was a reference to like Matt Aarons, creator of ZFS, giving us a email, which we have referred to instead as the affidavit, as though it is some binding contract, which was news to him.
I mean, it was funny because we have referred to the affidavit so frequently inside of Oxide that it hadn't really occurred to me that we had never really told Matt about this. And Matt's like, what? Yeah. Sorry, you were under oath when you sent that email. Are you unaware? Yeah. Well, I thought. Well, anyway, you were. So,
so that's what's up. Yeah.
But then it is. But it's a deeper cut than that because wasn't that trimmed from the broadcast?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, right. So that was a scene that you were familiar with because you have been watching streaming. And I only watched like in college on broadcast TV, and they cut scenes from syndication. So this is from one of the scenes that was not in syndication.
Yeah, we are at undergrad. We are deep into grad school here when we're talking about The Simpsons. I thought that was an impressively deep cut. And you had a couple of it, I thought, and then also some very just important. You've got clearly Sideshow Bob stepping on the rakes. I mean, it's just
right.
if you haven't watched that scene, these are things that you should be, trying to help you out in your education.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Homer designing a car, pointing to it. I felt a little bad implying that Dave, our esteemed colleague who gave a great talk, was a dipshit pointing at a doodle.
You can't take these apart too much. I mean, the AI in higher education with Michael Whitman had a Homer again, while the nerds are busy at work, and I'm not even sure who's what in that metaphor. So you can't take this apart.
You have to pour yourself into it. I think we can all see ourselves in that picture somewhere.
Exactly. You're all in that picture somewhere.
We are all the nerds, and we are all Homer.
We all Homer. Reflect. Please write a non-LLM generated essay. Okay, because we. Here in Simpsons 301 or whatever course this is.
Another image okay, I love.
I'm hoping you're going to go there. I almost want to flip this over. Episode. Go.
At the episode, long time in the making. This is the TLB speculation data corruption bug that I had been pestering you about for 2 years, literally.
Yes. Yeah, literally.
And the image is just you, head in hands. Reacting to output that made no sense, literally could not happen output.
It is a great image. It is a really, really good image. No, and that one is just like a screen grab from a meeting, basically.
Yes,
that is just literally me in my basement trying to grapple with tears in the fabric of reality.
Right.
And that was really good. No, I thought you were going to say AI materials and fraud with Ben Schendel on the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and
that was fun.
I thought that was a great image that you
scrapped together. Yeah,
that was fun. Together. Yeah, was that not? I mean, am I overplaying that one?
No, I like that. It took a little bit of artistry of form, and that was a fun episode. And you sent me an article recently from the Wall Street Journal where they had been apparently listening to the podcast.
I think it's a little generous. Yeah,
let's say
for purpose. Yes. And what's going to happen if I drop in that GIF link into the Discord? I think it'll be fun. We'll put the GIF link at the Discord, and then the Wall Street Journal can send me a cease and desist. Now, the Wall Street Journal, unlike Fox, I feel I can rely on them to send me a cease and desist. So Fox, you could really learn a thing or two from the Wall Street Journal. That was because it was an update on, because I re-listened to. Did you re-listen to that episode? I re-listened to that episode somewhat recently. No. First of all, I'd like to apologize for my bad audio while I was in Mexico. So I know the apology is not accepted for many people, but I just want to put that out there that I'd like the record to reflect that I am apologizing. It really was kind of bad. So
it was, as I recall, it was echoey, right?
It was echoey. Yeah. It was, I was in my mom's place down there is a very, it's a lot of tile.
It was tile. It was you were sitting in a tile cube. It was
I was sitting in the tile cube. I was. So but I feel like that's a bit of an excuse. I feel like I could have done better. So anyway, I apologize for that.
Well, look, an apology not accepted. And to the haters who are your audio sucks. It's yes, our audio sucks where we're sitting. No amount of taking out a Discord is going to improve Bryan sitting in a 6-sided cube of tile. That's not Discord's fault.
This is you can't hang out on Discord. That's on me. Wait a minute. Hold on.
That's what I mean. Wait. Duck season fire.
I think 100%. That is, that's Duck season fire. Is that a reference that travels?
No way.
Really?
Not a chance.
Really?
I feel Bugs. I feel like Bugs Bunny is maybe overtly racist.
What?
No.
Oh, what? You can't make. Has Bugs Bunny been canceled? I can't make a Bugs Bunny reference.
I'm not sure. You know what? I'm just not going to. Maybe chat can weigh on in this one. I'm just not. I'm 100%. There are some impersonations that Bugs Bunny has done that were not okay at the time, and certainly are not okay now.
Well, dear listener, if you are hearing this in the podcast feed, we have decided that Bugs Bunny is insufficiently not canceled to leave it in, or we couldn't find it.
That's right. We forgot to look for it.
Okay. So the other thing that was obviously a very big deal this year was the introduction of the chime.
Yes,
That's
very
this is a
controversial.
breakthrough. Okay, so and actually, I just kind of a meta question on the chime. Are we ringing the chime? This have you decided?
No,
if we're gonna,
no. I think it would
are you
be.
not? I've kind of been. I've kind of okay. Can we workshop it a little bit? I say you say
Okay.
no chime this episode just because you think the chime would be going off all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is a retrospective, and to chime. I mean, the chime is actually intended. God, I can't believe I'm saying this, as like a gift to listeners, right? To know more. To know more.
Oh, that's great. That is, I definitely was going to say that. Dear listener, let the record reflect that as Adam who believes it is a gift. I know
for you.
It's for you. You're like, did you keep the receipt? Do you have a gift receipt? Can I?
Was it this? I think it was this season that we did the JJ air horn.
Okay, that was the second thing I was going to say from the AI discourse episode. Was so you had introduced the chime. I think the chime is I think the chime is so delightful that I think that we should potentially have it be in this episode. I will say, I think it's for your consideration because I think that because it will make it very clear. Noted. It will make it very clear what the chime is for. Which apparently some people are confused with the chimes for. The chime is to make reference to previous episodes. I think we only kind of do it for once per episode. Like we bring up an episode we haven't talked about, we hit the chime. We don't nail it on every sentence that you're talking about.
Yeah, and dear listener, I have been reducing the volume of the chime with each episode to the point where it's fainter and fainter.
Oh, really? You big chicken! I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
A little inside there, a little insider information for folks. That's the volume. It's like, I was an Oxide and Friends fan back when the chime used to be abrasive. Now you can barely hear it. Now it's
used to be Oxide listeners that you had to know it was coming and take off your headphones lest you be deafened. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You would duck and covered. So, I think the chime is delightful. But I was re-listening to the AI discourse episode, and I truthfully had forgotten about because we would always joke with Klabnik that whenever he hit JJ, whenever we mentioned JJ, you got to kind of ring a bell. And he hit JJ, and boy, you did a lot more than ringing a bell. That was a what do you even call that? What does that sound?
That kind of like that. I know that as MLG air horn.
MLG air horn.
Do you know what MLG stands for?
No.
My understanding is it stands for Major League Gamer.
Major League Gamer.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Is that okay? Where are we? Are we like millennial, Gen Z? Where are we on that? Obviously not Xers.
I think it's like Gen Z creeping into millennial, and like we sound like boomers. To be clear, like right now we are giving boomer.
Don't care. We are giving old people, which is as Susanna described the changelog music. Yeah, don't care about that one. One is I'm really just I'm just trying to expand my knowledge, man.
There you
go.
And there was one. I think I only did one other sound effect this season, which was another gift to you. More recently, do you remember this was for the episodes not done?
The episode's not done.
So you were talking about you were talking about like an episode. I think we didn't do an episode on but we should have probably on one of the Rust async bugs that Rain had encountered.
Okay.
And you were like calling for the chime for an episode that didn't exist. And I gave the Price is Right failure like womp womp.
Womp womp. I think I had remembered that but forgotten it.
There we go.
So the womp womp in there. That's so when was that? Must have been. Well, I don't know. I'll have to go dig.
Yeah, it's the one most recently with Rain, like just a couple weeks ago. I think when we were talking about
in maybe Future
Log. Yeah.
Future Log, a great episode. So I did. So I love the chime. I think the chime was a great ad. It's a deep pull. I think it's the fact that it's a sound from a visceral sound from your youth, but our kind of shared youth. I thought it was great. And I love kind of having that callback to previous episodes, and I know people online hate it, and I guess it is what it is. I don't know. I think that
agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. I'm like this. Like we have no ads. Like you literally never have to fast forward through anything other than our banter. And like, yeah, you get the occasional chime. Like think of it as a sub-second ad. So that's what I got to say on that. Okay, so I also did the experiment. We did too of that's kind of like it's been super busy, and I just didn't have a huge amount of time to prepare for this. So as you do, want to see what our little LLM friends would how they would do a wrap up for this year. Did you do this?
No.
Oh, it was fascinating. So I did a wrap up with both Gemini and with ChatGPT. So this is ChatGPT 5.2 and Gemini 3 with deep thinking or whatever. Everyone's deep research 3.5. Anyway, whatever. Pretty interesting. So one, I will say this: I asked them to like taxonomize it, and both of them really nailed it. I mean, because one of the things that we, the episodes did have a different tone this year. I don't know that it's deliberate. I think it's a consequence of a couple different things. But I mean, what would you say is a big theme for this year?
Bugs.
Yeah. Bugs
I was delighted. You know what was less of a theme that I anticipated was AI.
AI was less of a theme. AI was less of a theme, and I think it's because it's like less on the horizon and more like in the business now. You know what I mean? Like it's more like it's like kind of everywhere now. It feels. So we did have a couple of AI episodes, including the one on the AI materials and fraud, which again I that was really a delightful episode and conversation. Just because I feel that fraud. It's like, okay, can we just maybe we should talk about this for a second? Jokes that we think are jokes. It's gauche to laugh your own jokes, but that's never prevented us. Jokes that we thought are funny, our own jokes. Like, I'm sorry, the Aidan Turner Rogers, if I did it, that killed me. Every time I re-listened to that, it killed me. I thought the O.J. Simpson Aidan Turner Rogers mashup was, I loved.
Yeah.
Did you have any that you?
Any jokes of my own that I want to like relive?
Yeah, exactly. Now is the time when we get to laugh at our own jokes right now.
Yeah, you know what? I none really come to mind. I know that you doubt that completely, but I don't think I retained them well enough. Yeah, I'll need to think that one through. But I do like when I am listening to our episodes, I am embarrassed by like sometimes needing to pull over and like titter at a joke that I told to myself 5 months ago. So at least I know my audience, which is
exactly. So that's good stuff. Well, anyway, but we had a lot of episodes on debugging. And a lot on bugs. I mean, we did not have, including some really interesting stuff. So I mean, it's like both LLMs picked up on this as a pretty big theme. And both kind of properly taxonomized. It didn't hallucinate episodes, which is a nice thing about having all of God only knows if it's getting it out of the GitHub repo or out of the
transcripts,
RSS feed or the transcripts. I am not so sure about the transcripts for reasons I'll get into in a second. I think the LLM may be studying on the train on this one. I don't think that like we've done a whole lot of deep work on the because the very, very good superficially, and then things kind of fell apart. But properly kind of taxonomized all these episodes. And we had, I count, we've got certainly the debugger-driven development with Dave. And then we had really, 5 different gnarly bugs that we did an episode on each of those bugs. So when async attacks.
Actually, I think I have 6. Yeah, okay, you go.
Okay. When async attacks, adventures in data corruption, future lock, a grown-up ZFS data corruption bug, death by uptime. Am I missing one?
Hell is other networks.
Hell is other networks, of course.
Because that was
that was absolutely and actually that bug in many ways is like actually an even better. I mean, the thing I love about that bug is that is something we actually saw in the field.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great. So we got a lot like really. Those are all great episodes. And actually, it's funny because we did so many of those that our colleague Laura has a great blog entry up last week. And on a bug that we had in the service processor in bringing up Cosmo. And there was like, it didn't quite get the traction on Hacker News that deserved. Next time, I guess, write a milquetoast RFT on LLM as opposed to like really deep technical work, apparently. But I actually probably need to get that one in the second chance pull on Hacker News. But there was one comment on Hacker News, which is like, oh, yeah, I loved the podcast episode on this. And I'm like, that we actually didn't do a podcast episode. This is actually a different bug. I mean, I know it feels like every bug we've done.
How is that possible?
Right? How is that possible? And we probably should do a podcast episode on this, but you're actually thinking of a different SP log. I think of Death by Uptime. I was so great, I think, to have on each of those, having the team on and being able to kind of, and because each of those was a really gnarly problem. Like I don't feel like any of those was a simple problem. And it was great to get people in their own words talking about debugging. So I love that. I mean, I don't know what clearly I know that you'd be right to Leventhal me right now, because you're like, oh, really? Oh, this is interesting. People like an episode where we talk about an interesting bug that we debugged. Oh, I wonder if anyone had ever made that observation before. No? Oh, okay. Thanks.
I know. I mean, in the spirit of Festivus and the airing of grievances, even though I know I've already aired these grievances, like, do you remember I think I pasted into chat during that episode all of the DMs I had sent you wanting to do that episode. And they started to be like, hey, I really loved that idea you had, Bryan, to do an episode about this. I was trying to kind of incept you.
Yeah, trying to incept me. It's like, no, I like it. It was the end of the, hey, look, and one of those worked. We can't say which one, but
Exactly.
one of those worked. No, that was, even the dog loved it. I mean, I think it was great. And those were, so yes, of course we know the dog is like, I'm not saying I loved it. No, sorry. I'm
saying I was here for it. Yes. I had to listen
for it. Exactly. Don't put barks in my mouth, please. But I thought the other thing I love about this, I mean, this is what you and I I think love about these just in general too, is that when these systems fail, they reveal themselves. And every one of these failures, which are actually pretty different. I mean, with the exception of Death by Uptime sounding a lot like the bug we described in Vlog Entry, even though it's totally different. But each of these is a kind of in a different aspect of the system. So I thought it was, and there's a lot to learn from it. So I thought those were great. I just wish you had told me sooner that we should be talking about Adventures of Data Corruption. I mean, if you had said it sooner or more frequently.
That's on me.
That's right.
Right. There's only one person to blame. That's me. No, I loved it as a theme too. I mean, I just feel like, I think sometimes we talk about, junior engineers reading this, listening to this, or college students listening to this. And I think that those are all such terrific episodes and such terrific learning experiences. Like, I learned from those episodes. Certainly as we're debugging, no one person is the, I mean, maybe with the exception of Cliff last week, but by and large, it's not just one person figuring it out. And a lot of great techniques, a lot of great sort of, guidance for just how to take incremental steps on those things. So I think those are always super fun.
Totally. And Cliff would be the first to say that very much the baton was passed, that there were a bunch of folks who done a lot of work on that problem that allowed him to really take the next step on that. So no, I agree with you. Each one of those was a real team effort. And it was, so I asked our LLM friends how 2025 contrasted to 2024, and the presence of these episodes on debugging has it drawing some big philosophical conclusions that I'm not sure. I can't tell if they're ridiculous.
Wow, you guys write garbage code now. Like 2024, your code was tight.
No, they both said that 2024 was about the philosophy of building systems. And 2025 was about the pathologies of those systems when they're built. This is about I believe it was ChatGPT that called 2025 relative to 2024, quote, painfully concrete, unquote. Which I'm like, again, I don't know if this is like.
Did you is it reviewing us on Apple Podcasts? Because no thanks on that one.
Yeah, I know. Painfully concrete is, I feel like something. I feel like this is feedback I may have gotten more than once in my life. So, but I thought that was it. Then I got to think about it, well, maybe that does actually kind of. I mean, because we're talking about a couple of these things that you only do get in a system that is a bit more mature or is in the field. So I think there's some like slight accidental truth. I think we've been debugging really gnarly problems all along. And I think we've been talking about them somewhat all along. And I would, in particular, like, I think that if one is interested, certainly on the hardware side, like the Bring Up episodes, all of them, and we had Bring Up Cosmo this year, really get into all of the nasty issues we see in bringing up a new board. So I think we've been talking about it all along, but I think it's also true that, like, yeah, we actually definitely talked about more in 2025, and maybe it does reflect, you know, and again, all of the LM suggestions on this are you know, they want, and would you like me to write a 1-sentence paragraph on each of these years? And do you want me to do this? I mean, it's always like, it always ends with this, like, do you want me to take it much further kind of question to you? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want me to, like, should I go tattoo this on my knuckles and, you know, strip to the waist and run through the streets? I'm like, no, none of that would be necessary right now. Thank you very much.
You know, I think I am a victim of like the memory that ChatGPT has, because I have told it to be terse so many times.
Oh,
in fact, I've told it to be terse to the point where I am asking it for more information. Like, if I'm not asking it for more information, it's not being terse enough, that it now just gives me one-word responses, like, very frequently. So I think I may have overfit that.
Maybe overshot the mark on that one. Yeah, like ChatGPT is like, look, frankly, I'm walking on eggshells with you, so I am trying to use the fewest words possible. I've got a bunch of ideas of things that I want to do, but I'm gonna go save all them for Cantrell. He seems to love them. I'm like, which I don't. I don't want any of these, but you know,
I'm not gonna tell you that. That's fine. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so that was a big theme. I mean, of course, they weren't all debugging episodes, but there were more that were just about engineering at Oxide. I think we had more on and fewer hot takes, right? I think, which is like probably good, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think I counted like 8 or 9 or 10 like Oxide, kind of like hanging with the Oxide crew, what it's like to build at Oxide. You know, bringing up something. You know, having Robert on, Dave on, talking about some of the kind of structure around how we build stuff.
Yeah, I thought episode with Robert was great.
Yeah, for sure.
I really, really enjoyed that conversation with Robert. Also, can you talk about the AI work on that one? That was great AI work on the image.
Yeah, so that was like an AI assisted image. It was an image of Robert at a whiteboard drawing. The original image had like 5 other people in it that I thought were extraneous.
Yeah, just like we're gonna airbrush these people out of the. We're gonna
exactly
channel our inner Soviet, and it's like, nope, not you. You're
it was just
Siberia now.
It was just Robert designing everything at a whiteboard by himself with no audience. No questions.
And I mean, admittedly, to be fair, it's like these are actually people that were all like broadly still familiar with the company. It was just like their legs or what. I mean, just like it wasn't like a flattering.
It was just the framing. It was right. It was
framing.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, I thought that was an excellent image, and I loved that conversation. I thought that conversation was really great. I think that I mean, obviously, we all feel I'm very lucky to work with all of our colleagues, but Robert's disposition was one that really, I mean, it really was a great kind of one episode synopsis of our engineering ethos and approach. And it really merits a re-listen. I thought that was very good.
Yeah. Because someone mentioned it in chat, you know, they talk about, you know, we talked about running into Dennis Ritchie trying to give a D-Trace demo. Apparently we talked about it this season, but we, in fact,
episode, right?
Yes, but we had in fact told that story maybe 2 years previously. But I'm delighted that for somebody it was a highlight of the season, even if for somebody else it might have been a highlight of a different season, and maybe we'll tell it again next year.
You know, I think that people should take some solace in us retelling a story that we've already told, because you'll find that the details tend to line up. You know,
I was going to say it really emulates the Bryan and Adam like IRL experience as well.
It does. What certainly emulates. I think you're much better at this than I am. I mean, like, and I so pride myself on, like, I mean, I really pride myself. I live in fear, I should say, of just like endlessly repeating.
What's the opposite of pride myself? Oh yes, live in fear.
What's pride myself? Right. Like, excuse me. Hold on. I'm just being handed this. And then of course, like, you re-listen to the podcast, where it's like, oh my God, like it's the, you know, where were you when MCA died, which I think we've referred to like 8 different times over the history of the podcast. Just like, okay, I need to wind that down. So these things that I thought I hadn't repeated, but I was able to actually surprise you with things about me that you had not heard.
Yes, true.
which I thought was in particular my own the first $5 I made as a software engineer. You had not heard that story. So that was good, but that was earlier in the year than when we were all at the Ballers game together, as when we met up as a company, and I was telling a story that I was convinced you had never heard, and you literally identified it from a single syllable. You're like, wait a minute, I know this one. This is Fart
that
Boy.
tune. Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm not going to give people more context. That's the only thing I'm going to tell people. But anyway, I am always worried that we're repeating these things too much. But the Dennis Ritchie story, I'm glad that we have told that twice, apparently.
So far.
We got some other favorite moments. So this is Tyler in the chat dropping in some other favorite moments. The books in the bonfire. I love books in the box. I really love books in the box. I'm reading and I believe a recommendation we got from Books in the Box. I know this is like an off cycle Books in the Box, but the Eccentric Orbits, the Iridium story that was a recommendation we got in Books in the Box, and I'm loving that. It's very good. So I really love the Books in the Box episodes.
Yes, I listened to actually the Neil Stephenson book, Terminal Shock. Started that like the day after, and really enjoyed that. And it felt very much previous Neil Stephenson I'd read, and it felt very similar to experience from 20 years ago. But it's great.
That is. And do you recommend it? I need to go. I'll go check it out. Yeah. I have not read any Neil Stephenson. Am I a safe space?
No. I think you may have already acknowledged that.
Do I say that in every podcast episode?
Yes.
God, it's happening again.
Intro.
Are we going to get it? Like, what's the chime we're going to ring for my early onset dementia? Are we going to have one for that?
It's like it's your good night and good luck.
It is. God damn it! All right. Well, I
usually trim that in the sign off just because I feel like it's a little repetitive. But
a little repetitive. You say it every single episode. Look, I still haven't read any Neil Stephenson. I know. I feel that that's an aberration a little bit. That
that's right. I was.
Is now the time to? No, this is not the time to mention this, but I'll mention it anyway. You know, I've been kind of fantasizing about a Mad Men, but for Fairchild Semiconductor. Someone needs to make that. And like, I guess ring the early onset dementia chime because it's got nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but I wanted to get that out there and now it's out there. So
to get it off your chest.
I think it'd be amazing. I think it'd be amazing.
I'm in.
It's like a period piece.
Is it a Kickstarter? I'm in. Okay.
It's a Kickstarter. It's a Kickstarter for a period piece about Fairchild. Super large demographic kind of a show. So
speaking of poor segues, one of the things that I was hoping for this season that are predicted, no pun intended, was more about Intel. And we had our predictions episode where you made a great prediction about Intel, about Liputan. Amazing prediction.
My prediction was that the co-CEOs would still be in place.
No, it was sort of, but you talked a bunch about Liputan.
About Lipo, yeah.
So, and then Liputan joined, and then we haven't had much to say since then.
No, I
sort of thought there would be more to say. That's all.
Yeah. It's I'm less surprised that there's not more to say, but we'll see. Who knows what the future holds in that one. Yeah.
Big highlight for me, John Holloway dropping the Oxide bingo. For those not familiar,
very good. Right, because that was this year. Yeah, it feels like we've always had that, but that's actually that. Yeah.
Oxide.bingo. Amazing.
Really amazing. It's been delightful. And I think we've got. I need to ask the LLMs what they kind of think of the Oxide bingo card. See what because this gets into the as I was like, so they're kind of cutting these big themes of 2024 versus 2025, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I asked for some fan favorites and this is where things started to get a little funky. This is the Shell Game podcast gets into this, but mean, the big challenge with these things still is they really struggle with like, I don't know. And they still like will go just absolutely bonkers if they feel that that's what you've asked them to do. And so like they're just happy to make up what they think are popular episodes. And they like make up reactions, and it was, and you know, like some of it is like this like I mean, this is like not an unreasonable thing. Like, yes, the Death by Uptime could be a favorite episode, but we also only cut that 2 weeks ago. Is that like this is what ChatGPT is convinced has become a touchstone episode, as what one that people, you know, has test of time. And I mean, it's like, okay, that, and ChatGPT amusingly is like, well, I obviously don't have access to any of the view counts for this stuff. So, you know, it kind of acknowledges that I will ground this in observable audience signals that you do have. Repeat references, community chatter, longevity of discussion, and how often episodes become shorthand, e.g. the async episode or the ZFS bug one, etc. Which sounds like a great idea, but then it doesn't do any of that. Like I mean, like, I don't know, how has Death by Uptime become shorthand? It's our most recent episode. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I feel like this intern has like started their internship very strong, but then kind of didn't really follow up.
And then kind of drifted off. Exactly. I feel this is what often happens with the LLM intern. Yeah. What emerges, says ChatGPT, is that audiences favorites skewed heavily towards painful specificity and earned insight. It's like, okay, come on, tone it down. And I mean, then it kind of goes on like every episode, like why it landed and, you know, why it's a favorite. It's like, you're just making all this stuff up. So, anyway, then like things are beginning to drift. I go over to Gemini and ask it the same question. Gemini, kind of interestingly, is like, does not have any of the same reticence about going into view counts. Gemini is like, oh, YouTube's a property. I can actually go. It's kind of interesting, right? It's like, I actually do know all your view counts, by the way. I also know your bank account balance, by the way, so I can kind of factor that in. So Gemini
knows like our demographic breakdown, and it probably knows.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like I know crazy. All sorts. Like I know exactly what kind of ad to put in front of you right now. By the way, a word from our sponsor. So it has what it calls the undisputed heavyweight. Gemini does. It's undisputed heavyweight heavyweight of the year. It has one that's just like, this one it's got the highest view counts of the year, which, as far as I can tell, is actually true.
I'm gonna guess it's System Software on the Large with Dave.
Bingo. That's it. Yeah. That was a great episode.
Really good episode, and I do know that the view counts were high, and you know, the chatter, such as it was pretty good. So I think it was people took a lot away from that, and I do see it referenced from time to time.
And you know, as usual, like Gemini like wrote one sentence too long on this, so it was like, you know, it bridged the gap between code and reality. You know, and then its final sentence on this is, it resonated with every engineer who has ever had to push a scary update button. It's like, yeah, strike. No, that one's not.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes into, and then again, it kind of makes up the popularity of the others. I mean, I think, right? I mean, it's like they talk about scaling manufacturing. That's the how it's made favorite. And I'm like, I think it's a great episode. I'm not just like, I mean, I would love to think that, I don't know.
The home labbers who are trying to ramp up the scale up there. Yeah.
It does call out Founder versus Investor as the crossover hit. I did. Sure. Exactly. Sure. Why not? I really did. I love that episode. I thought that was fun. I also loved the fact that Liz's current startup has an LLM based on that one has kind of with one's own voice and expertise. And then we could actually go to that, and people were during the episode going to the LLM that features Liz and Jerry as LLMs and like positing things about the episode, and then they were replying in kind. And it was pretty good. So pretty sassy. It's funny.
That was good. We haven't talked about, I think the episode that was not the most popular, but like I think that we were most excited about, which was Character Limit.
Character Limit is outstanding.
Kate Conger and Ryan Mack on. I think we kind of we're both very excited about the book and really excited to have them on. And audio issues abounded as they do, but it was a really fun conversation with those guys.
And biggest get, your get, biggest get. I thought that was a great get of the year.
Thank you. Yeah,
I thought it was a great conversation. I love that book.
Yeah.
I made the arguable mistake of I left my physical copy with my mom in Mexico. I'm like, Mom, you have to read this. This is so outstanding. She hasn't, and now I'm kind of got the awkward thing of like, I want the book back. Like, you're obviously not going to read it, so just like, you're gonna anyway.
I mean, that's a book I like. I referenced last night. It's something that
it's very good.
I talk about frequently. That along with Careless People, those go kind of hand in hand.
And I also there's a joke that to jog your memory about jokes that you have that we laugh at. Just they kind of the Tinkerbell character for
Sarah Wynne Williams.
Sarah Wynne Williams, that's our frequent guest.
I think you think I'm kidding, but like I do want to do that episode. Like I want to have Sarah Wynne Williams in the office with us.
In the office with us, absolutely.
Not saying anything per the court order or whatever, and just us pretending to have heard something from her.
I think it'd be great if, like, in addition to Meta issuing a restraining order against Sarah Wynne Williams, Sarah Wynne Williams issues a restraining order against us from using her as a I'm not on your podcast. I'm like, well, that's what. You're just abiding by this restraining order.
No.
We understand that.
We know you were never on the podcast.
No, seriously, like, this is disturbed, and you're actually not abiding by the restraining order, so you need to stop, please. I think that 2026 needs to be a year. Like, we got to get a C&D from someone. I just feel that like it's
a stretch goal.
It's a stretch goal. We just haven't arrived into. We haven't got the lawyers involved yet.
Clearly, Fox is not going to send it to us. Like,
we're not. I don't know how much harder we can be trying.
The estate of Jean-Paul Sartre isn't going to. Like, when are we going to get this letter?
When are we get this letter? Come on. But that book is so good. I would love to also have her on. If and when she can join us, because I thought those are really, the book is obviously stunning. No, I thought that episode was great. I think another an episode that what are episodes that you have sent to people, if any? I don't know.
I sent the one with Michael Littman, the AI in higher education.
Love that one.
Yeah,
love it so much.
I sent that one to my folks. I've sent that one to both my technical and non-technical college friends. I think it's like. Michael is so terrific. I thought he had such a thoughtful take on AI, and not to throw out my shoulder patting us on the back, but I was pleased that we came up with this way. I thought this was a very good guest to have a better conversation about AI. I think we had a lot of conversations about AI that were good. But I think this was an area where it's easy to be simplistic and reductive. And I think Michael had such a thoughtful, considerate conversation with him. I really enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed that too. And I also sent that to my 18-year-old, my college freshman, to get his perspective on it. Because this is something that everybody is grappling with. And it's a really important subject, especially in higher ed. And I thought Michael was great. I thought that was a terrific conversation. Another great get for you, by the way.
Thank you.
We are keeping score, and I know that this is all about getting Morris next year. And trust me, I am feeling the heat. I am feeling the heat because
good. Especially if I get Evan, forget about it. You're like way behind.
Evan, I get. Yeah, I'm still gonna be like, wait a minute, that guy. I played Ultimate with that guy. I don't know. I'm like, no. I didn't play Ultimate with you. You can come. It's fine. But that was a really great conversation, and I have definitely sent that one, and then another one that I've actually sent a decent amount is, and I know it's off our demographic, but diving in with Robert Bogart, because I've had a decent number of parents of athletes reach out to me after my blog post about college baseball, venture capital, and the long maybe. And then listening to that episode as well. So I was really grateful for Robert for joining us. And again, I know it's a little bit, but we got to take you off the beaten trail a couple of times. I feel like I just doesn't bother me that like we're going to have things that are that people aren't necessarily expecting from us.
That's right. I mean, we did have like 100% fewer baseball episodes this season.
Yes, I mean, if you're calling, I mean, but we also had 1,000,000% or more. I'm not sure what you're coming up from zero, but on NCAA swimming episodes. So I'm not sure. Like, I mean, sure. I mean, like, out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yes,
but
that's fair enough.
But I thought that was another great one, and so that one I've sent to a bunch, and of course I also end up, as you can imagine, sending episodes to folks that are contemplating becoming Oxide customers or becoming Oxide, want to apply to Oxide. So it's been a great vector for that, and I've sent a bunch of them out for that. But those are episodes that I've sent to more personal folks. So
yeah, same. But kudos to you for bumping the listen count for everyone applying to Oxide, being sent a bunch of podcast episodes to listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
Good strategy.
Yeah, you got to game this somehow, and you might as well do it with applicants. So, you got to go. I actually would be curious to go, because we do point every Oxide applicant to our conversation with Gergely Oros.
Yeah.
And
from 2024.
From 2024. Is that when that was? 2024. Okay, so. Yeah. God, it's all that one should have much higher view counts, listen counts. But I'm not convinced it does, because we definitely get plenty. Like, if you're going to apply to Oxide, please do listen to this thing, by the way, because it's like it does have there's a bunch of stuff in there that is helpful and germane.
That was 2023. Jeez,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it was late 2023. You're right.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I know it was late because it was like dark and cold in the office. Late in terms of like late in the year, in the winter. But yeah, that's it. But does that one have higher view counts? I mean, are you on the Transistor, looking at the Transistor dashboard there?
I'm not. I should. What am I doing here? Why do I even have a
looking at Transistor? As long as we're looking at Transistor, we got we get country downloads. And I'd be interested to know how we're doing. I think last year we called out like our downloads in Namibia. We've got 20 downloads in Namibia this year. So not sure where that counts. We do still have some countries with 0 downloads. Several which are war torn. One of which is like Papua New Guinea. I feel like Papua New Guinea. If you're in Port Moresby, I feel that you can listen to Oxide and Friends. Like Papua New Guinea, I think you can just like up it a little bit. I feel like
Yeah, just grab the baseball episode and send it to your buddy in Papua New Guinea, and we'd really appreciate it.
I will. I think Port Moresby can really. I think it will. That'll resonate with them.
So the Gergely episode hiring process is top six.
Okay, of all time. That does make sense.
Yeah,
that does make sense. So that stat you can definitely view as gamed, because
for sure.
we are asking people. That's wild. What are some of the others are there any this year that are in the top episodes of all time?
Okay, so the stats are a little
specious,
funky. So the reason stats are funky on Transistor in particular and the reason why while United States is the most common country that has downloaded it, the most common state,
Arizona, baby.
Arizona, where in somebody's basement, they were like downloading the most recent 10 episodes over and over again for a year and a half, and then it stopped. So thanks for not downloading them anymore. But it means that our 2025 stats are not like we have fewer downloads because that computer in Arizona has been turned off.
Yeah. Okay. So then when what are you looking at? Are you looking at all time?
Yeah.
Or are you looking at not for the first? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So if I look all time, actually our predictions episode this year was our most popular episode this year. And then after that was the one with Robert, Holistic Engineering.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, nice. Well, good stuff. And I guess all time, that's funny that our second all time, at least when I'm looking at it, is Crucible.
Yeah.
That you promised that Alan, you can come join us, because don't worry, no one will listen to it. It's like, actually, everyone will listen to it, as it turns out.
That's right.
And good to see the RFD episode right up. That was a great conversation.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm really glad to see that one up there. Some good stuff. That was a great episode. Are there others that before we get off of this, because there's another thing, another theme I want to hit. Yeah,
those were the episodes that I had called out in particular.
Yeah. So then but with the fan favorites, you can feel the LLMs wobbling a little bit, like they're beginning to move into bullshit. I mean, this is just like, okay, this is not. And then I asked it for in part because I actually was genuinely curious about what it would find. I say my prompt being the podcast infamously makes Gen X references. Were there some notable ones this year? And this is where all LLMs just went straight into the wilderness and lost their confidently, with absolute confidence, completely lost their mind and just started absolutely making up shit and making up references to, they make a bunch of Office Space references, which I think we basically don't make. Maybe a little bit. No, I mean, I feel like the Office Space reference that I make, I would say the most frequently is like a Michael Bolton M dash mashup of right. He's
the one who changed his name because 100%. He's the one who sucks. Yeah,
that's right. And so I like that. I feel, but I don't think I made that here. But I don't know. Then again, so like no. Then it says like they make references. Like we definitely don't.
No,
100% don't. Bugs Bunny, don't know. Like that could go either way. That goes one way only, goes straight there. There will be no references on this podcast. And if that quip makes it into the recording, I'll be amazed, because that's how canceled is as far as we're concerned. Like that is a 0%er. We are not making references. And then it just went, it's like, they make Nirvana references and grunge era references. And they started like, these are the ones that they made a Nirvana reference in. It's like, it was just, absolutely unhinged. At one point, ChatGPT says, when summarizing all of this up, this says, this isn't nostalgia, it's epistemology. I mean, that's got to be the most LLM thing ever generated.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I mean, I just don't know the cognitive dissonance that you would have to make. I mean, hopefully that doesn't sound like me. I mean, my God. And then it's like they're making like they think we make a bunch of Talking Heads references.
I don't know that I would confidently even know how to do that.
I don't know. If you ordered me, if you put a bayonet in my ribs and ordered me to make a Talking Head reference, I don't even know like how I would start on that. I mean,
I did see David Byrne live talking to Dave Eggers.
Stab in the ribs. Nope, not good enough. I mean, it's just like, sorry, we're not asking for facts about Talking Heads. I want you to make a Talking Heads reference. It's like,
okay, I will say that he did get on stage and do. They had a karaoke machine from Japan that had Talking Heads with like the lyrics messed up, and he was just going along with it. So that was fairly delightful.
Okay, that counts. We want to.
I'll retract the bayonet from your ribs.
Retract the bayonet from yours. My ribs are going to get it though. I think that is so. And then they actually. This is kind of. I mean, this is where you do wonder about the power of these things to kind of induce a sense of dementia. Where they're like, then they make war games references. I'm like, okay, maybe we might. Like, go on, expand.
Did we talk about Dave Hits this season? Okay, that's good.
I think it was last season, wasn't it? I think that was.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Someone says last season. They said Dave Hits had come up in as another source of cease and desist.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And then it calls out the meta Gen X humor of weaponized weariness. Perhaps the most on-brand Gen X reference of 2025 wasn't a specific artifact, but a tone. Dry fatalism. Humor without hope washing. Laughing at complexity, not away from it. It's like, what? Where are we? We're just making shit up at this point.
That one feels more personal to me. I mean, I'm exhausted, but yes.
But it can't know that. No, it can't know that. Sorry. Yes, but we don't know. That's not what we're doing here. We're not. I don't think we've got dry fatalism here. Like, no. I mean,
no.
That's just a lucky guess. That's not. I mean,
just a lucky guess.
That's got nothing to do with the actual podcast.
Yeah.
And then I asked it for I want the Gen X reference in the content itself. So you know what actually, well, I mean, I was just kind of curious to see if they would pull it. But one of my, I got to say, favorite moments was when we had Oliver had joined us on the stage.
Mm-hmm. In the Books in the Box episode.
Books in the Box episode. And he is either we're making a Knight Rider reference and he's rolling with it, or maybe he made a Knight Rider reference. Whatever it was, he was rolling with Knight Rider. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, doesn't that up? Like, that does not make sense, because I know for sure that thing did not leap the generational chasm. To the contrary, Kit is lying at the bottom of a ravine. It absolutely did not. And so I pushed on how do you know about Knight Rider? Because I know that Oliver's just not an Xers, not of the vintage. And I'm like, there's got to be something. And then he revealed that actually it was they referenced it in the SpongeBob movie. I just felt like that was a moment of just maximum triumph for me. That was my biggest triumph of the year.
Okay, good to hang your hat on that one.
I just felt like I called it. I knew it. I knew that. So I wanted to see if it would actually pull that out, which is just a ridiculous hope, because obviously it's good, but it's not an actual magician. And so I asked it for explicit, what about Gen X references in the content itself? And it just, it's just off into the absolute weeds, and more just so it's saying, the episode in which it referenced was System Software in the Large and Shootout at the CNCF Corral. And then it's got quotes from that are references that we didn't make.
Huh.
It's wow, that is, okay. Yeah, that is. So I'm like, Gemini, ChatGPT just lit itself on fire. So you're up, pal. Are you going to do any?
I'm amazed you didn't just make a Top Gun reference. I felt like I saw that one coming.
That I didn't make a Top Gun reference right now?
Right now, right this moment.
Right now, that I should have. That Cougar was number one, lost his edge, turned in his wings. Yep. Now you're number one?
Yeah.
I should have. That is the Gemini. I can't believe I got to do this, Gemini. I got to send you to Miramar.
Yeah.
LLM.
Thank you.
Good luck, LLM. That's right. All right. That was good. Thank you. Thank you for the prompt on that one. I am kind of losing my edge maybe a little bit. Yeah, that does feel like a bit of a layup for myself. As long as we're on Gen X references, you think that all those synapses would be hot, but I guess not. Okay, no, that's a great reference. So I asked Gemini the same thing. And this got a little bit weirder and a little more both more accurate and less accurate. So first of all, it's first of all, you got to talk about the Fox reality TV throwback in When Async Attacks, a clear reference to When Animals Attack, which I guess it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not an explicit homage.
No. Yeah. I mean, not an explicit homage. I think riffing on a theme. But I
think we would also we would make if we're going to make an explicit homage, it would be to Man vs. Beast. Did you ever watch any of those?
This is like Kobayashi or Joey Chestnut versus a bear. Yeah.
Yes. Did you watch those? They are so good.
This is like an Olympic sprinter, like Usain Bolt versus a horse or something.
A zebra. Yeah, I just felt like that was extremely educational about. I think that, and I'd also like to say for my own children, what has cast a long shadow is Wildcrats. Did you guys watch Wildcrats?
Yes.
On PBS?
Yes.
That thing is super informative, hits kids at an age when they're impressionable, and they watch a lot of it. So there's an entire generation drifting around with some super weird animal knowledge about a loris or whatever, or Anyway.
Octonauts 2 embeds a lot of esoteric marine knowledge.
That is great. And I look forward to these Gen Z podcasters of the future, casually dropping Wildcrats references, and I'm gonna roll with that. Is what I want to say. So anyway, Man versus Beast, and then also the orangutan versus the sumo wrestler. It's super educational. It's just the orangutan is much smaller. It looks small. Lighter, and it effortlessly defeats the sumo wrestler in a tug of war. I mean, it is effortless. You do not want to mess with a chimpanzee. I mean, our orangutan rather. Anyway, deep thoughts. Man versus Beast, worth checking out. It turns out like we are slower than absolutely everything, but also smarter than absolutely everything. And as it turns out, like that's a big difference. Did you know that humans are the only animal that use wind direction to hunt?
I did not know that.
Isn't that amazing? Anyway,
it is amazing.
Yeah. Now you've learned. You're like, where are we right now? Are we on? Are you just like stop generating? Are we on like are you on a chat GPT?
You're still reading the transcript. Right?
You're still reading the transcript. Where are you right now?
This is still Gemini.
Gemini is like, oh my god, that's actually you. Okay, Jesus.
It's like I've told it to be as terse as possible. You're like, just go,
just go,
just
go, riff, baby.
Just whatever's on your mind,
whatever's
just let it rip.
Just let it rip. Absolutely. So, all right. So then, so that is like kind of barely holding on, and then it just gets like super weird. The Fincher nod. I'm not even sure that's a reference. Oh, we think we're making a reference to Seven with Brad Pitt.
Oh, I don't think I'd make a Seven reference like in public.
I definitely. I just think that would be a very weird reference to make. And I'm like, so, okay, let's actually go into like, what about the content itself? And again, it just actually kind of like with more specificity, but absolutely wrong, goes through all the references we made to Logan's Run, again with quotes, to Spaceballs, again with quotes, to The Princess Bride, again with quotes, to Glengarry Glen Ross, to Clerks, to Spinal Tap, and all just like making up quotes. And I'm like, wow, okay. So
yeah, I feel like we're insufficiently like cultured and literary, and we should drop more references to these important works.
No, I actually don't feel we should. No, I feel that I feel that we drop. I know because I think that like we do drop references that travel less than these.
That's definitely true.
Which is like, I mean, arguably undermines the point because it's like, well, okay, then people they just think it's like they should be ringing their early onset dementia chime. They actually don't think that this is, you don't realize that you're making a reference to something. I do like it when you and I make a reference to only our shared history that no one can possibly know, which we do try to explain, but we don't always do that.
Probably fail, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we would make a casual reference to Adam Leventhal, hardware engineer, and not it would just like
a lot. Right I think it. A lot. I think
you do that a lot.
I think in my life, I mean, in my life at Oxide, I do hear about Adam Leventhal, hardware engineer, which is even more awkward since we work with a lot of hardware engineers who definitely don't necessarily get the joke. Yeah,
right. Joke is doing a lot of work on that one. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Also, a fair amount of discussion about Adam Leventhal, tax expert or
tax advisor
or
Esquire. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, Adam Leventhal, mob accountant. I mean, I feel like there's.
That's right. Yeah, I wear many hats here. Yeah,
many hats. Absolutely
talented. Many hats. Yes.
Many hats. Yes. I mean, that's kind of what you're getting here at Adam Leventhal Esquire. You're getting a.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, okay, these guys are just kind of off the. So I think they kind of lost. But it was interesting. Like the cultural resonance does not actually. They have a harder time on the cultural resonance.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Were some other? I also loved our the Richard Scarry conversation. Bananas Gorilla finally making a cameo.
Yeah,
with
this is Matthew. Yeah, talking about all the folks in Busytown making Oxide work. Yeah, that was one of my favorite images as well. Even though, I mean, especially because it took no work, but
the best kind. But I mean, like,
even in the abstract, yeah.
Well, I also just realized that like Busytown is like if Busytown resonates with you, like you're our people. I just think that there's something great about Busytown.
Yes,
everyone. Anyway, so I thought that was really great. Oh, then the other thing that that Gemini identified is like, and then they did an April Fool's joke with raiding the mini bar. I'm like, what? No. Okay.
That episode was in March, first of all. Second.
Right. I think it was in March. You're right. It was recorded in March. It was released on April 1st. So it thinks
was it? Oh, okay. Yeah. It just took me a while to edit. All right. Well, joke's on me.
Exactly. But it's also like not, it's a great episode, but it's not, there's nothing deadly serious that episode. So there's no No April Fool's Day about that one.
It's no laughing matter. No.
And then I also, it should be, we also had our first, what do you call a podcast that is about an entity that is unnamed? Do you know what I mean? Like it's a subtweet, but it's a podcast.
That's funny. As I was categorizing the episodes, I was also reflecting on this subtweet of an episode that was very important to you.
It is very important. So this is transparency in hardware software interfaces.
Yes.
Which is on the one hand about every hardware vendor, and on the other, in another more specific way about exactly one.
Yes.
And dear listeners, if you think it's you, you're probably right. So.
And had you written an RFD on that subject as well? Am I remembering this correctly?
Okay. Yeah, I'd written an RFD on that.
So you had the long form subtweet and then the audio subtweet. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not sure what we call that. I mean, is there another name? There's got to be another name for like a kind of a cultural subtweet.
That's right. Like Twitter cannot have invented the subtweet. Surely.
That's a good question.
Like, don't you feel like Twitter, Alexander Hamilton subtweeted fucking everybody?
Yes, I do. Our first blogger too, I feel. That guy, he invented so much, Alexander Hamilton. I remember reading, I think I was with you when I was reading Cherno's Hamilton before the musical. Do you remember why I was doing this?
It'd have to do with like eliminating the $10 bill. I mean, the like removing Hamilton from the $10 bill.
That's an excellent guess. No, that happened afterwards.
No,
it was because we were contemplating naming Alexander, and I just wanted to do like a quick. So I read a bio of Alexander Hamilton.
Let me do a quick 700-page read to make sure there's nothing nefarious.
Just like, I mean, you're not going to name a kid Adolf. You want to just like make sure. Let me just like, I want to go in eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like. Now that I'm saying this aloud, this is sounding really pretty peculiar.
I like imagine you slamming the book shut and saying, Bridget, we're going with Adolf.
We're going with Adolf. Let me tell you, I read about the Whiskey Rebellion, and I don't know, this Adolf character just can't be as bad as this guy. No.
This affair that he had, I just can't. I just think we're back to our plan B.
I just think we can't. God, I know the affair is not great, but I also do love what he because what he said about Aaron Burr is still kind of like not known, but people kind of like historians basically think like he had it coming. Like what he said was really like he knew what he said, and it was really bad. I think that they believe that Aaron Burr lived with his daughter Theodosia.
Yes.
And Alexander Hamilton was, I think, pretty explicit about his idea that they may have been that there may have been something untoward in their relationship.
Yeah.
Which it's like, hey, you got to hand to that guy, real taser tongue. But no, so that's why I was reading Alexander. And I came out, and then I also read a bio on Alexander the Great, Alexander of Macedon. Macedon. I feel like I just said Alexander of Macedon, which is why
right. Now we got to check if that guy's been canceled. Yes.
Right. Exactly. That's Alexander the Upset. That's a different. Okay, Macedon, settle down. I know Macedon gets super upset when we say that they're upset. So
you're fine, and you have a great sense of humor.
Yeah, you've got a great sense of humor. I do. Okay, on my LLM piece, and this was kind of only on Macedon. One of the things that RFD opens with LLMs have been indisputably one of the breakthroughs of the last 5 years. And people are like, that's not true. Like, come on. You cannot say an LLM is not a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough.
In Mastodon, people are saying
not a breakthrough.
In the flavor of this, actually, is it that it happens?
Actually, in our chat as well, people are like, all right, you want people to say it? I'll say it right now. It's not a breakthrough. Okay, well, I'm going to say it is a breakthrough. It is. You can disagree with everything about it, but it is a breakthrough.
Was it that it happened not within the last 5 years, or was it that it was not a breakthrough at all?
Not a breakthrough. Not a breakthrough at all. I'm like, you just can't. I mean, come on. It's a breakthrough. You can disagree with everything about it, but it's it's a breakthrough. But and Alexander the Great was also super interesting. I'm not sure we should really be naming children after Alexander the Great or Alexander of not Macedon of Macedon. But he died at an incredibly young age, like in his early 30s, of cholera. Isn't that amazing? Anyway,
It is amazing.
We named the kid Alexander, so there you go.
There you go. Anyway,
I'm not sure exactly. Not really sure what the outcome was, but and highly recommend Chernow. You read Chernow's biography?
Yes. Yes.
Very, very good. And
And I remember you were going to see Hamilton, and I think I told you, like the musical, and I think I told you, be prepared for the greatest thing you've ever seen in your entire life, and I'm in no danger of overselling.
Yeah, and you did not oversell. It was amazing.
Exactly.
You did not oversell it. It really was outstanding. It was very good. No, and Cherno's biography is so good. The one of the things I remember from Cherno's biography is reading about something like the Whiskey Rebellion, which I absolutely agree with the way Hamilton handled the Whiskey Rebellion, by the way. But reading about something like that, where he dedicated kind of 3 pages to it, and thinking to myself, this person, Alexander Hamilton, is so fascinating. I should read a biography of him. And my other part of my brain is like, Jackass, you are reading about this is like a, whatever it is, a 900-page biography of him. Like, this is not, but that's how kind of fascinating his life is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Come for the year wrap up. Stay for the free book in the box, I guess. Also a half century of Silicon Valley with Randy Schaub. I thought was great.
That was fun. That inspired me to read a book about Xerox, Fumbling the Future.
Fumbling the Future. Yeah.
Which I know I've like dumped on your desk or whatever.
No, and I need to read that because that is really, and I thought that aside from the fact that had a built-in image for you, so that part easy.
Perfect, right?
That I thought that was an amazing conversation.
Really fun. And actually, when we went down to the Computer History Museum more recently, I was thinking about that episode because I think it put a lot of that stuff in context for me, like a lot of the Xerox PARC work and just like the stuff that of that era.
So what I liked about that episode, and I may be the only one, but I think an important point that we made in that episode is that this was this kind of extraordinary time. We were talking about how lucky Randy's dad was, and then also reflecting on the fact that time, like more broadly, was kind of a terrible time. Like 1973 was bad in a lot of ways, and I just think it was a good reminder that that you can find. There's a golden age happening right now somewhere, and probably many golden ages happening.
Yeah. So if you happen to be listening to this at a shitty time,
yeah, exactly. No, I'm serious. That you should not be overwhelmed with despair and find the interesting bits, because there are interesting bits that are out there. I thought that was
for sure.
That was really good. All right.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the big Oxide milestones, of which raising $100 million this year was pretty big deal.
That was pretty big. The LLMs are definitely big on that one. They feel that one is an extremely important episode. I obviously enjoyed getting that out there. We got the bingo card out there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I like these ones where I get to pluck comments from social media and read them at you and Steve. I think that's a fun thing for me to
love
do.
this. Yeah, which is this? What do you call this Passover tradition? Right, because it's Passover, right?
That's right.
With the wise child, the wicked child.
Yes.
The 4 children.
Yes.
What do you call that? What's the name for that?
I think it's just like the 4 children. Like
it's a really great and insightful and kind of wise tradition. I really like it.
Yeah, the wise, wicked, simple, and the child who doesn't know how to ask.
Right.
Yeah.
And but I thought I like reading Hacker News comments in those different. Again, I think we talked about this. Like, we should have a tag on Hacker News where you can like tag it wicked, simple, wise, doesn't know how to ask.
Right.
And I think it'd be, the world would be better.
And like respond in kind too, right? Like, because sometimes you get like what seems like a rude question, but it's actually a simple question, and it's an opportunity to like respond in a simple way, as opposed to a wicked question where you can respond in a more testy way.
Yes, this is like, where Dave has very short responses on Hacker News, and that it's like, wow, Dave spent a lot of time on that response. I am, and I think it was the Future Lock RFD that made it to Hacker News, and with some comments that were less than productive. I thought Dave did an excellent job, as always.
Yeah,
I know.
actually,
I also did, like, we had Dave. Dave was a frequent guest this year. And we had Rain was a frequent guest. Eliza, we had a bunch of folks that were frequent guests. But
yeah.
um, it was very good.
There someone
Matt,
on social
yeah.
media on that episode about Future Lock had, in the in replies said, but before listening to the episode, or maybe as we teased the episode, talked about Future Lock as like really just, sometimes you're a bad programmer and you make bugs, and it doesn't mean it's somebody else's fault or whatever. And then after listening to the episode, I think softened that position and had some contrition on the things they had said previously. So, one person at a
Hey,
time on social media. What can you do?
one person at a time. What
Yeah.
else can you do? I think
Yeah.
that's pretty great. That's pretty.
Yeah,
We're
that's nice.
doing our part here.
Yeah.
And then I think very, very grateful for listeners. I'm sure you. I feel I get a lot of positive feedback about the podcast. And it's really terrific. Really appreciate people calling it out. And I got spotted in the airport a couple of times this year wearing an Oxide shirt. People calling out Oxide and Friends references. I thought was pretty great. So
that's awesome.
really,
In kind of more small town news, I've sometimes parents at my son's school have said, "Oh, are you that Adam?" So that's been fun too. Just in the local community, finding like-minded tech nerds.
that's great.
Yeah.
That it's been that was really nice. I thought we had sounds like that was happening to you a decent amount this year too.
Yeah. No, it's great. Very, very grateful that like folks are tuning in, recommending it to folks, and tolerating us for all our foibles.
I do feel that I want a chime that I can carry in my pocket that I can ring when in conversation I make a reference to a podcast episode.
Yeah, you do it a lot.
I do it a lot. And maybe I do it a lot. Maybe that's like, yes, I'm glad. In fact, we're thinking it should be a shock collar, not a chime. So we actually been in the chat that includes everyone except for you. We've got a lot of ideas that
we're crowdfunding that as well. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Got a bunch of good ideas on that one. Well, good stuff. It's been a great year. I've really enjoyed it. Again, thanks for all the listeners. All of our guests have been terrific. Really enjoyed folks being willing to join us, and looking forward to another great year, honestly.
Yeah.
And this will be it for the year for us. So this is idea to 2025. We're out for the next 2 weeks. And then we will be back with a predictions episode.
Yeah.
So, which all the LLMs did rightly call out as an annual favorite. So this is going to be it'll be a good one. I think this is going to be a hot year. It'd be a good year to go back to where we can go do some checkups on some 3-year predictions. We got some 6-year predictions that don't have very long to run at this point.
It should be fun. Yeah.
So be thinking about those. Hope everyone has a great holiday. And thank you again very much for all of your support of the podcast and of Oxide. We really deeply appreciate it. All right. And thank you, Adam. I'll be remiss not to thank you. Thank you,
Brian. Thanks for doing this. This is always fun.
It was great. I really enjoy it. I do really, really, really enjoy it. So thank you very much for everything you do. And pledge to get better audio and Morris Chang.
Sure.
I'm gonna start to play. I'm gonna get to Morris Chang. I like what you're doing with Evan. I'm gonna try to get to Morris Chang. I bet a guy plays pickleball. I'm gonna go play some pickleball and.
If he plays pickleball, I'll do that one too.
Oh, you're gonna pick him? And then
if I need to go to Taiwan to play pickleball, like
okay.
that, I'm willing to do that.
Okay, there you go. Take one for the team. That's what it is. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, and see you in 2026.